everybody. How's it going? I thought that I would kind of have a bit of a talk today about some things that us astrologers experience on the other end of the astrological chart, so to speak. And what I mean by that is you're on one end of the astrological chart as the person whose chart we're looking at, and we're on the other end interpreting your chart. Quite common reasons that people come to an astrologer for are in regards to relationships, career, finances, all those things in our life that would represent the angles of a chart. You know, the seventh house deals with relationships. That's one of the angles. Career is the 10th cusp, and so that's another one of the angles, because the angles are the first, fourth, seventh, and 10th houses. And finances, on many cases, are related to fortune, which is the fourth house. Those are the concrete things in our existence, and the things that are usually a concern for every single individual. So they contact us astrologers when they're having problems with all of those things, wanting to know when their finances are going to get better. They want to know when they're going to be able to get in a decent relationship. And then they want to know when they're going to be able to, get their quote unquote dream job. And we hear that quite a lot. Think about it when you go to a doctor, right? You go to a doctor, you're going, doctor, I've got, this particular problem. What can you do to help me with that? I'm feeling this, that, or the other thing. I've got a pain in my stomach, or my eye hurts, whatever the case may be. You go to the doctor because you've got a problem with something, and you're wanting the doctor to help you to sort that. The doctor can give you medicine, right? He can give you a prescription. He may even be able to give you surgery in order to deal with the particular circumstance. But really, what is going to solve those problems better than anything else? It's going to be you taking care of your health, isn't it, right? You taking care of your body. It's going to be you dealing with the underlying cause behind those symptoms, because there's usually something behind those symptoms that you're experiencing. Say if you've got a cold, you're sneezing, right? Why are you sneezing? Well, you've got a cold. Why are you having a cold? Well, likely because your immune system was compromised and you were in the environment of somebody else who had a cold bug. But the underlying thing is the immune system. Right? And similarly, what us astrologers experience is people with problems, people with relationship problems or career problems or problems with fortune in their life. But what is the underlying cause behind all of those things? What is out of alignment with that? So, sure, while I don't negate that it can be helpful for people to go to an astrologer for prediction, because much like if you're feeling sick, you want to go to the doctor so the doctor can treat the symptoms. But the treatment doesn't stop there. It doesn't stop with treating the symptoms. It stops with dealing with the underlying cause. And that's something that is also, I feel, very vital to deal with. Right? I find myself pretty fortunate as an astrologer because I do also get a lot of people who come to me who want to know what they can do to begin to improve their relationship with their financial situation, what they can do to begin to improve their relationships in general, what they can do to cope with the fact that they feel like they're in a 9-to-5 position that they don't feel any satisfaction with. So that shows the desire to go more deeply to the root of the problem and what's actually creating the issue. But there's even something that's deeper underneath all of that. And usually that boils down to you as an individual, the path that you're on in this particular lifetime, what you're here to learn, how you are here to grow. And quite often, a lot of that growth cycle comes through challenges, right? Without those challenges, you wouldn't grow as quickly, right? But, that doesn't take away the fact that sometimes that challenge brings a lot of suffering in your life, and you don't like that. So how do you deal with the suffering? And one of the best ways to deal with the suffering is to understand what that suffering is related to, why you are suffering, why you are having that experience in your life. Part of the whole thing of dealing with those challenges can be also understanding what good those challenges do to your life, or what those challenges are trying to teach you, the direction that they're trying to guide you in so that you can grow, right? When you improve your relationship to that, when you improve your relationship to the path that you're on, then things miraculously change. Also, us Vedic astrologers, we get a lot of people coming to us wanting, a gemstone to deal with the problem in their life, or even working with the mantra to deal with the problem in their life. I tend to, if people are looking for remedial recommendations, I tend to do mantra more so than anything else. But even underlying that, I think that there's a deeper issue, which is, are you willing to do the work that your chart is suggesting that you need to do? So remedial recommendations can be really simple. Here is the problem that your chart is suggesting. What can you do to harmonize with that? How can you turn that challenge into a benefit, right? Because all it takes is a little bit of leverage in order to get underneath that and change something which is, sitting on top of you, to flip it off of you and make it so that you're on top of it. And sometimes you may spend your whole lifetime doing that. But the fact that you're doing it and you're walking the path and you're taking those steps and you're confronting the thing which is sitting on top of your shoulders going, I'm going to make your life completely miserable. The fact that you're confronting that, then that means that you're taking the responsibility, right? That's what it's about, responsibility. I used to teach yoga for years and years. I'm a strong believer that yoga, true yoga, and astrology can be a yoga too. It's not about self-improvement. It's about self-acceptance. No self-improvement can happen at all unless you first accept yourself, right? And as an astrologer, that's what I want to guide you to do, to accept yourself, to learn about those problems that are in your life, learn why they exist, learn what you can do to actually benefit from those challenges, and then eventually overcome them. Maybe not this lifetime, but some future lifetime if you're a strong believer in the eternal path of the soul, right? Eventually you'll change, you'll evolve past that. That's shown a lot in a chart through the nodes, the south and the north node, right? So when you come to me as an astrologer, I'm more than happy to look at predictive things for you, but I also want to show you some of the things that you might be able to do, you might be able to take a look at, so that you can accept responsibility for the path that you're on and get that quote-unquote monkey off your back and begin to move forward. No offense to monkeys at all. I think they're really wonderful animals, but it's just a phrase. So that you can walk forward in strength without that extra weight, without that extra burden. And so you can live a life that's more fulfilling, because at least you'll know that you're meeting that challenge with grace, dignity, and strength. If you want to, you can contact me through my astrological services page. If my approach sounds like something that you might benefit from, there is a link in the upper right-hand corner of this video. If you click on it, you'll see a little Ganesh drop down. And if you click on Ganesha, that'll take you to my astrological services page. Thanks for listening today. Bye now.